Hey guys, Danny here. So, I was asked to do a list of my top 10 favorite bands, so I decided, okay, cool, that'll be what I make this video about. So, let's just get right to it. We're gonna go from 10 to 1, least to favorite. So, 10 is Green Day, which actually comes with a really nice story that I will quickly tell. So, I've loved Green Day since like middle schoolish, as most people, you know, and, well, they're a lot older, so people have loved them a lot longer than I have. But still, since about, we're going to go with 8th grade or 7th, somewhere around there. And so I ended up going to New York City in 8th grade with my 8th grade class, and we met Green Day there. It wasn't planned, but we happened to be in the right place at the right time. We were at the Rockefeller. We were all the way at the top, me and a friend of mine, and there was nobody up there, nothing. So we started heading down, and we heard people in front of us start going, "Oh, did you guys see Green Day? Oh, look at this picture I took with Green Day." And we were like, what? So of course we turned around, and my friend, who's terrified of heights, went all the way back up to the top for this. Like, we left because she was so scared, but she wanted to meet Green Day, and so did I. So we get up there, and they're just there, standing there, taking photos for a thing, I guess. And Billy says to all of us, after he's told that the people in the shirts we were wearing were an 8th grade class from school, he says, "I want all the kids from this 8th grade class to come over to me." So, of course, all the girls just whoop, surround him. Me, I just stood on the outside like, "Okay, I like Billy. He's awesome. Not my favorite of the three of them, but he's awesome." But I knew I wasn't getting in there. I just watched Trey, because he's my favorite of the three. And so after Billy was done with all the girls and they started taking pictures again, I just calmly asked Trey if he would give me a hug. And he, the butthead that he is, stuck his tongue out at me and hugged Billy Joe. Which was funny, but hurt my feelings a little bit because I assumed that meant I wasn't gonna get a hug. Then he just walks over to me and holds his arms out and says, "Yeah, you can have a hug." And my heart just melted. I hugged him for what was 7 seconds, because I counted, because I loved him that much at the time. And that was the best moment of my life up until meeting Austin Carlisle, actually. So that was Green Day. Anyway, number 9, My Chemical Romance. What person of my generation doesn't love My Chemical Romance? Just saying. 8, A Day to Remember. They're what I call my safe band. Jeremy's voice makes me feel very safe and comfortable. If I'm having an anxiety attack, if I'm just afraid because paranoia and everything, I listen to him and he calms me down, doesn't matter what situation I'm in. Number 7 is Of Mice and Men. As you know from my other story, I love them very much. Austin Carlisle is one of the top inspirations of my entire life. And as a musician, he's the number one musician who inspires me to be alive and to have gotten through everything I've gotten through. So I don't really think there's much of a need for an explanation on that one. 5, AFI. They used to be number 1 back in like '09 because I had a problem. I just discovered them, and I'm one of those people that when I discover something new, I obsess badly. But I actually, unlike most of the ones that I do that with, still love them today, like, a lot. Davey Havoc is still, like, my heart. But, I skipped 6. Sorry, didn't mean to skip 6. 6 was actually, it goes with this one, it was Black Audio, because they count as 2 separate things. Okay, so 4, Panic at the Disco. I've loved Panic at the Disco since middle school as well. Always been just the biggest fan, and they have never disappointed me. I mean, I admit Pretty Odd weirded me out at first, but I grew to love it, and they've never disappointed me ever. Even the new album, Brendan does not disappoint. I just, kind of wish it was all still Brendan, Ryan, maybe John, and Spencer. I mean, I like John. I do. I just, he makes me want to smack a person. Anywho, 3, Fall Out Boy. Now, my mother will roll her eyes the second she hears that. Especially when she hears the name Pete Wentz come out of my mouth. Ever. Now, that's my own fault. Because when I was in middle school, Pete Wentz was the love of my life, besides Michael Jackson. Michael was always my number one. But Pete Wentz was the biggest obsession I've ever had. Davey Havok came close, but Pete Wentz, he was bad. I wrote everything about him everywhere. I knew everything there was for a person to know about him. Like, you take the amount of knowledge that a Directioner or a Bieber fan have about the artist, and you put that as me to Pete Wentz, except, minus the aggressive, kind of crazy behavior. The crazy behavior was there, but not towards other people, just towards my obsession and love for him. But I was in middle school, okay? He was my second celebrity crush. First one at the age where I could understand what that meant. So yeah, that's interesting. And Fall Out Boy has never disappointed me either. In fact, their new stuff is their newest stuff, since it's not too new anymore. It's just, it tears at my heartstrings in a wonderful way. So, number 2, Cher. She is the second biggest musical inspiration in my life, like, as in just for music, not like Austin. He's not a top musical inspiration. He's a top personal inspiration that came from musicians. But musically, Cher is my second inspiration, and I sing her songs all the time. I actually won a singing competition with one of her songs, and yeah. Now, on to number 1, and I'm going to have to make this quick, because if I don't, I won't shut up. Ever. Number 1, as I've mentioned at least I believe in 2 other videos, is Michael Jackson. Hate me if you want, I don't care. I adore him. He is kind of my everything. He has been since I was a child. Like, as long as I can remember, that man has been my husband. Yeah. I love him musically. I love him as a person. I love him as an inspiration. Everything. I love him and everything about him. I don't believe anything that was ever said about him that was negative. And his humanitarianism is just the best thing that had ever happened to the world. And it's very tragic that he passed away. I didn't really ever truly get over that. I mean, I'm okay. I'm fine. I've moved on. But it still hurts me to this day to think I never got to meet him, and he's gone, and he just left too soon, and the world really needs him back. Really. He was the most perfect musician in the world. And I miss him terribly. So that was my list of favorite musicians. Yeah, this video was a lot longer than I expected. I meant to make it quick. That's why I started so soon. But, oh well. Can't name 10 without a little explanations, right? Can't just go 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. Nah, not gonna do that. Anyway, it was great telling you guys this. Sorry if it did seem a little rushed. I was trying not to go over a certain amount of time, and I failed at that. But that's okay. If you guys are still interested, you watched all the way. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Go probably play some Final Fantasy, maybe take a walk to the store while listening to Fall Out Boy. Yep. Okay. Bye.